Hi everyone, once again Spotlight comes your way from the Daily Tribune Studios. I am Giorgio Silvestre. I'm with a new co-host, a beautiful co-host, Pauline Song, who's also with the lifestyle section of the Daily Tribune. Today we have a very special guest whose very main concern is something that's very important to all of us. It has to do with light, energy, and all that stuff. But of course, he has a more social, how do I put it? Society responsive role, because he happens to be the Chief Corporate Social Responsibility Officer and President of the Meralco Foundation Incorporated. They have many programs and projects that have to do, I guess, with more than just learning how to save energy and all that. May I present to you Mr. Jeffrey O. Tarayao, who happens to be my kababayan. He's from Isabela. He said we can call him Jeff. Hi, Jeff.
Hello. Good afternoon.
Yeah.
Nice to be here.
Yeah, I can see that you're very good looking.
Thank you.
But of course, beyond that, tell us about your foundation. Meralco Foundation.
Well, Meralco Foundation is the corporate foundation of Meralco, Manila Electric Company.
Yeah.
And we primarily do the various corporate social responsibility programs of Meralco.
Okay.
As a foundation, we operate nationwide.
Okay.
We look at various areas, particularly where electrification can help.
You have offices all over?
No, we're centralized in Manila, but
okay.
our program officers, the projects that we do are all over the
okay,
country.
Okay.
Yes, let's say, for example, Meralco operates in Metro Manila and some provinces na nakapalibot sa Manila. Our focus program here is on household electrification for low-income families.
Okay.
So, still a number of families do not have access to electricity.
Why?
Meron yung or nakakonect sa Meralco, no? Meron kasi may kuryente ka, naka-connect ka sa kapitbahay. O kaya naka-submeter ka. So ang binabayaran mo doon hindi yung rate ng binabayaran ng diretsong naka-connect sa Meralco. Siyempre mas mahal 'yon. Ngayon, yung nakakapag-connect doon yung mas nangangailangan pa, meaning the low income sector. Sila pa. So somehow biktima sila nung ganoong practice, no? Doon pumapasok si Meralco Foundation. We work with local governments and urban poor homeowners association. Isa sa mga natutunan ko nung naging bahagi ako ng Meralco Foundation, yung mga homeowners association, hindi mo lang makikita yan sa mga villages, no? Even in our poor sector, meron. So somehow pwede silang mag-organisa. And that's one of the critical requirements for you to become part of the program. Kailangan part ka.
Ng isang...
kasi hindi naman to totally binibigay ng libre. Kailangan may share kayo as a community.
Ganun. Magpapalagay din sana ako. Kasi for the longest time, wala pang connection yung aking bahay sa Cavite. Right in Camellia. Baka pwedeng makalibre. Anyway, so that's one of the projects.
That's our biggest project actually.
So saan yan?
It's all over the Meralco franchises. So the entire Metro Manila.
Saan ba ang mga...
Bigyan kita example, meron tayong mga proyekto sa Welfareville sa Mandaluyong.
Okay.
Kung familiar ka doon sa lugar na yon, sa Baseco, sa Payatas.
Okay.
So dito tayo may mga ganyang proyekto.
Outside of Metro Manila,
meron din. For example, sa Cagbalete Island.
Where's this?
Sa Quezon, no? Part yan ng Meralco franchise area.
Okay.
Ang Isla Verde sa Batangas. Itong Cagbalete at saka Isla Verde, medyo unique yung electrification nila dyan dahil gumagamit na tayo dyan ng mga solar microgrids.
So that's something else?
Yes, but still operated by Meralco.
Ganun pala. Ang Meralco pala may solar or something?
Yes, yes.
I see.
In fact, after ng household electrification, our second biggest project is our school electrification project.
The term is electrification, not installation. That's just an aspect of electrification. So mga eskwela naman.
Pero itong mga eskwela na pinupuntahan natin, ito yung talagang pinakamalalayo. Very missionary in nature. you're located in island or mountain communities.
Ganun.
So for example, meron tayong pinailawang paaralan sa, nakarating ka na ba sa Balut Island?
Where's
Davao Oriental. Tama ba ako? That's the easternmost side of the Philippines. So
Okay.
sila ang unang-unang nakakakita ng sunrise.
Sunrise.
Oo. So sa tingin ko parang overnight ba ang bangka mula mainland Davao
Malayo.
papunta
That's far.
sa paaralan. So mga ganong klaseng paaralan ang nilalagyan natin ng kuryente. Tapos solar yan sila lahat. As of end 2019, we've already energized 225 schools already in the past 7 years.
Wow. Ang dami na.
Madami.
But how do you find out about these schools that need to be electrified?
Siyempre, para sa proyektong ito, we work with the Department of Education.
Okay.
Meron silang listahan dito sa DepEd Central, no? But our program officers will also go to the different divisions, DepEd divisions across the country. Because meron din silang mga listahan, tapos ina-update yon. Then we do technical assessment of the schools. Nung sinisimulan natin tong programa, siguro the first 100, 150, we go to the biggest schools. And the only school. Biggest schools, ibig sabihin napakaraming nag-aaral doon. At saka the only school na pwedeng pag-aralan ng mga estudyante. Kasi di ba merong mga ganong schools na diyan ka lang talaga pwede makapag-aral, hindi ka kung mag-high school ka, lilipat ka sa kabilang bayan,
that's
diba?
right.
So yung combination na yon, yun ang unang criteria. Ngayon, dahil natapos na natin yung mga paaralan yan, meron na yung mga maliliit na schools, mga 150 to 200, 300 students. But we go to really the farthest.
Aside from electrification, ano pa ang iba ninyong projects or programs?
Meron pang, youth and development, youth development.
Ano yun? Tell us about it.
We have projects on education. Let's say for example, energy, related pa rin sa sa energy. Na-realize namin na mahirap. Itong ginagawa school electrification is quite expensive and you cannot do it in all.
Okay.
But the issues of energy are issues of the future. If our young people do not understand energy and its implications in the future, they will hardly survive. Diba? Sabi nga, the nexus of the future are the three nexus of the future: energy, water, food. Parang kabisado natin yung water, but diba, we have issues on water today. Food, kabisado natin. Energy, hindi natin masyadong kabisado kasi tinatanggap na lang natin yan.
Tanda mo yan, Pauline. May quiz tayo mamaya. Yun.
Nararamdaman mo na lang ang kuryente kapag nawala siya.
Parang
diba?
pag-ibig yan pag nawala.
Ganun ba? So I think our young people should have
I won't ever let you go. Okay.
Have a greater contribution in the discussions of energy. So nag-develop kami ng energy education kit na pwedeng gamitin ng mga teachers para ituro yung energy issues. So it's available online, and we also printed about 1,000 kits that we distributed to public schools nationwide. So if you look into the operations of the foundation, naka-focus kami doon. But of course, marami pang programa na related to youth development. For example, we've been supporters of the Mindanao Peace Games.
Ano ito?
There is parang a festival of normally basketball, volleyball, swimming, various sports, no? Dedicated for the young people of Mindanao.
Lahat ng provinces of Mindanao.
You have to be part of a school. They have an alliance, no?
So that's a Meralco project?
Yes.
Or you're just
we're just one of the supporters, but we're one of the early supporters. So
that's good.
So even if Meralco's business is just here in Metro Manila or in Luzon, the foundation really extends support to many other projects around the country. Ito nga lang, for example, disaster response, for Taal. Normal sa amin yung mga disaster response initiatives.
Okay.
a biggest contribution always of Meralco, especially outside our franchise area pagdating sa disaster, is helping electric cooperatives restore power. Di ba? Pag walang kuryente, parang hindi normal ang buhay mo.
Yeah.
So, pag may kuryente, yung normalcy nagiging mas nararamdaman o bumabalik na yung normalcy. So, yes, we still do the usual relief goods, relief bags. Yeah. But if we think the more crucial kind of contribution we can do is through power restoration, then we work with the local electric cooperative. For example, nung Pasko, Typhoon Tisoy, di ba?
Okay.
2 linggo yung aming mga volunteer linemen na nasa Bicol para mag-restore ng power. Para pagdating naman ng Pasko, may kuryente naman ng mga kababayan natin sa Bicol.
Okay. Wait. You're not giving us a chance to ask questions about your personal life.
Okay.
So ito, ano ba ang, nalito na tuloy ako. But anyway, this is to do with your career pa rin.
Okay.
Ano ba naging career path mo? Why are you in this position now? How did you get started sa social responsibility work?
I've always thought that I'm accidental to this role.
Why?
I'm a marketing communications person.
Saan ka nag-aral?
University of Santo Tomas.
Okay.
I studied communication arts there, and
dito ka pala dapat sa yun eh.
Pwede naman. Moonlighting here. Tawag dito. So I've always thought na probably in the area of advertising, public relations. But after 2 years of working with the telco, doing regular internal communications work, I was asked, can you try doing community relations?
Ayun.
And probably dealing with communities is something very normal to me.
Because? Talagang ever since?
Yes. Parang even in high school, I would teach remedial classes on English in a public school beside our school, in Quezon City. So the exposure has been very strong. I guess probably because of the Catholic upbringing also, that they expose us to that kind of work. Na bahagi ng buhay mo yung makipagkapwa-tao ka sa nangangailangan. So nung na-assign ako sa community relations, it launched a career actually, which I did not plan or I did not envision for me to have. For 8 years, I headed the community relations department of telco, expanding our programs across the nation. So yes, so I've been exposed to issues in the community with a particular how do you say that, focus on education.
Ayun. Now, what I can imagine that you're working all the time, ano? I mean, it's the kind of work that kung may disaster, you have to do it on a Sunday.
Yes.
But otherwise, on a normal day, on a normal Sunday, gusto malaman ni Pauline ano raw ang ginagawa mo. He is single, Pauline is single, so we might have a good pairing soon.
Well, ano ba, normally I just eat.
Ganon.
One of my pastimes is go to the mall. Feeling ko kasi, the new school for today is the mall. You learn a lot of things in the mall. Diba? If you wanna learn forecasting, it's in the mall. If you wanna learn sales, it's in the mall. If you wanna learn creativity, you see it in the mall. If you wanna study people's behavior, you see it in the mall. Diba? And you get everything in the mall. So yun.
Yes, sir. What's your favorite destination?
Well, locally, ako marami magtatampo, pero on top of mind ko, Cebu.
Cebu.
When I go to Cebu, I get to relax a lot. The food is very good. The people are fun. It has a good mix of a city vibe, and if you wanna go to the beach, maganda.
Nearby.
Outside the Philippines, Italy is a very nice place for me.
Why? For the arts or for what?
Everything you
For the
want.
food?
Well, I like small cities, small towns. So discovering the small towns are that's how I reward myself. So in Italy, I guess, is a fantastic potpourri of all of these towns.
You have a serious question?
Yes, sir. Going back lang po dun sa Meralco Foundation, how did it started po ba? And do you have upcoming projects na we can look forward to?
Yun munang nakalipas para in future.
Well, the One Meralco Foundation has been there, I guess, for the past 20 years. But we
20.
actually reorganized 9 years ago, no? When Mr. Pangilinan joined Meralco, he brought in a new vision on how corporate social responsibility can contribute to the Meralco family and the Meralco business. That's the reason why we focused on electrification. And I think that's something that we can sustain. In the future, alam mo, yung problema sa kuryente at saka sa access to electricity is still a huge problem. No? It's an area where we think we could contribute. Kaya sa tingin ko, many years from now, we are still going to be part of electrification, access to electricity challenges of the country, helping solve these issues.
Sir, why do you think that problem pa rin yung access to electricity?
Well, if you look into the country where there's a geographical challenge, no? 'Di ba? Maraming nasa malalayong lugar, iba-iba tayong isla. Isa yan sa mga intrinsic problem on access to electricity. So, yan ang balak nating makakontribute para matugunan yung problemang yun.
Sir, Jeff, you were telling us na you're also, yung sa capability ng teachers natin, you were saying something about improving their knowledge.
Yes. As I said earlier na, there's a certain part of me that's very close to education, and I've seen and observed that ang daming bago ngayon, di ba? AI, climate change, sustainability, all of these things will require a different perspective in the way we learn or probably unlearn things. And for us Filipinos, the best place to still learn is in the school, diba? But the actors in school, are they prepared enough to discuss these things and to expose our children to let's say, for example, better decision-making opportunities? That's why for me, we have to strengthen or invest more, no? Invest more on teachers. Ang problema kasi lagi natin nakikita, kulang kasi yung teacher sa ganito, kulang yung teacher sa ganyan. Pero baka kulang din tayo sa pag-invest sa kanila. At hindi lang yan sa pamamagitan ng mas mataas na sweldo or better classroom facilities or better learning facilities. It's also exposing them to new ways of learning, diba? Ito bang workplace natin, for example, dito sa Daily Tribune, may chance ba ang mga guro para matuto? Diba? Not necessarily on an OJT format, but every month, can we invite 2-3 teachers to observe? How do you process news? How do you prioritize the news that should come out? Things like that. Diba? And I'm sure it will be a very good opportunity for them to widen their knowledge. And eventually, mag-benefit doon yung mga estudyante natin.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
No? Kwan ba, how are you able to manage yung ganyang malawak na ang coverage na foundation? I mean, you have projects in Tawi-Tawi, you have projects everywhere. What's your management style?
Well, one of the biggest blessings I have in the work in the foundation is having a very good team that are very creative, may sense of leadership, and I think that's necessary for this kind of work, because at the end of the day, benefits can never be centralized. Diba? It has to be spread all over. In the same way as managing a foundation as big as One Meralco Foundation, leadership should always be spread across. Parang that's the greatest measure that I can have for myself, diba? If somebody does better than I in the work that we do.
You know, you were saying something about MVP, the big boss of Meralco, Manny Pangilinan, brought in a new vision. Tell us about that.
Well, you see, I guess one of the I guess, best skills of our boss is that he's able to envision the future and get us all together to look at it at the same way. And therefore, if we look at these things at the same way and united, we're able to do collectively what needs to be done to address not only the problems of the day, the problems of the future. So part yon yata ng competency na nade-develop sa amin if we work with him. You are able now to forecast, if we are to do this, ano ang magiging impact niyan? Ano ang magiging challenges natin? And if you are honest with him, I think the kind of support he gives to you or to the rest of the leadership team is always there to address problems. And that's, I guess, very critical to leadership today. If you turn visionaries out of your own people. Di ba? Kasi kapag visionary ka, may stake ka eh.
Yeah.
Hindi ka lang sunod ng sunod. Di ba? Binibigyan ka ng chance to become part of the solution.
So let's go back to Pauline's question. Ano ba ang what can we expect from the foundation in the coming years?
Well, our electrification programs will continue because marami pang kailangan lagyan ng kuryente, whether those are households or schools.
Yeah.
I think building also the resilience of our people is an area that we're looking at, and that may come in many forms, developing our young people for better education opportunities, getting them out of conflict, like how our sports development programs are addressing. What else? And employee volunteerism. I think yung mga empleyado ngayon hindi lang dapat talaga confined sa trabaho nila. We have a bigger role in society. Pagdating ng mga disasters na ganito, ang laki ng role ng mga empleyado to really make the opportunities and the aid become more available to many people who are suffering.
Yeah. Wala kang question about your favorite brand? He dresses up well, huh?
My favorite brand?
Yeah.
Well, it depends.
Baka bawal.
Well, but I'm a big supporter of Filipino brands. So,
Yeah.
yes.
Anyway, to go back to MVP, kung ba siya, masungit ba or mabait or what's his style?
Mabait. But you have to think beyond yourself.
Okay.
Kailangan malaki ka mag-isip.
Okay.
Okay. Hindi, kasi para maka-address ka talaga with a significant contribution.
Yeah. What did you do dito sa Taal recently?
Well, first thing we did is to send our solar mobile charging station.
Oh.
Di ba? Hindi usual relief operations. Hindi relief bags. Well, we're the corporate foundation of the biggest power utility in the country. So we must be able to use our own strengths. So we developed a solar mobile charging station na merong more or less about 20 outlets para pagdating doon sa evacuation center, pwedeng mag-charge ang mga evacuees at makatawag sa kanilang mga
For the phone, gano'n?
Phone, tablets, transistor radios.
Nice.
Rechargeable lamps. Meron pa nga rechargeable electric fan. Merong mga ganun na ngayon eh.
Yeah, that's right. Ayun pala. Okay. We should probably ask you. We will ask you. Ano ba ang inyong New Year's wish? Chinese New Year's wish? Yeah.
Well, I think we have to be more courageous as a people. Diba? Hindi pwedeng fence-sitter. So, if there's an amulet or a feng shui solution that can make us more courageous so we can speak up better, we can solve things better, then that's my wish.
You know, you're very inspiring. As we wind up, would you like to address the young Filipino? Inspire them?
Well,
Youth ka pa ba?
I think so. First, I guess we have to develop ourselves. No? I mean, especially for our young people, we have to develop ourselves to be stronger, more courageous individuals, because the problems of the future are complex in nature. Hindi sila madaling isolve. No? So we can only give what we have. So first, especially for our students, we have to be more serious about studying these days kasi yan yung magbibigay sa atin ng lakas para makapag-contribute ng mas tama in the future. So that's my message.
Hihingi sana ako ng advice. I-break ko na ba ang boyfriend ko? Huwag muna.
God.
Life is short.
So I better enjoy.
So better enjoy.
Okay, so I'll keep him. Thank you so much, Jeff. It was
Thank
a
you.
pleasure learning so much from
Same
you.
here. Same here.
Jeff is very
you, sir.
inspiring. For young people like us, he truly inspires us. Thank you so
Thank
much.
you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.